Welcome to Short Times, where we bring you quick recaps of the latest movies. Today, we're taking a look at the comedy hit 40-Year-Old Virgin. Join us as we follow the story of Andy, a man who's never had the opportunity to lose his virginity, and his journey to finally experience it. From embarrassing encounters to hilarious mishaps, this movie will have you laughing from start to finish. Grab some popcorn and get ready for a wild ride with 40-Year-Old Virgin. The movie opens with a look into the life of Andy Stitzer, played by Steve Carell. We see that he lives in a downstairs apartment which is impressively organized and tidy. He has a huge collection of action figures and video games, as well as high-tech equipment like a video system and even a specialized chair for playing games. The apartment is the epitome of what you would expect from a 20-year-old, but unfortunately, Andy is already well into his 42nds. The camera follows him as he wakes up, struggling with the common morning problem of morning wood, and then proceeds to make a delicious breakfast omelet with fruit and juice, all while keeping everything impeccably neat and organized. He then goes out and engages in small talk with his upstairs neighbors, making plans to watch Survivor together. He gets on his bike and rides to work. Andy works at a large electronics store similar to Best Buy, where he works in the inventory control room, away from customers. Despite being a friendly and nice guy, his coworkers perceive him as strange and even suspect him of being a serial killer. One day, his coworkers discover they are one person short for a poker party they're planning for that night, so they decide to invite Andy. To their surprise, Andy is great at poker and beats them all. As the night goes on, everyone is swapping sex stories, and when it's Andy's turn, he makes up a story and it's obvious that he's lying. His coworkers call him out on it, and eventually, he reveals the truth that he is a virgin. After his coworkers discover his virginity, Andy is filled with shame and embarrassment. He rides home feeling defeated, ready to quit his job, and unable to shake off the feeling of humiliation. He spends the entire night awake, unable to stop thinking about the embarrassment that awaits him in the morning. The next morning, Andy enters work cautiously, unsure of how to face his coworkers after the previous night's revelation. At first, everything seems fine. But as the day goes on, different coworkers start making jokes and teasing him about his virginity. He can't take it anymore and runs out of the store in shame. However, one of his poker buddies, who has taken notice of his distress, stops him, and eventually, all of his friends come together to help him with his problem. They all make it their personal goal to help Andy lose his virginity. For the next 45 minutes or so of the movie, we see Andy go through various parties, clubs, and encounters that his friends set him up on, all of which are quite funny, but none of them lead to Andy losing his virginity. Among these attempts, the funniest is when they decide that he needs to have his chest waxed. The entire process is portrayed in a comedic way, and it gets even more hilarious when we see him walking home with a little blood on his shirt. Another comical scene is when his friends advise him to find a drunk girl to take home at a bar. He does, but since he doesn't have a car or a license, the drunk girl drives and almost kills him. The evening ends with her throwing up on him. She offers to still have sex with him, but he turns her down. The whole situation is portrayed in a comedic way. One day, while working at the electronics store, Andy is forced to work on the floor for a bit and meets Trish. Trish owns a small store across the street called We Sell Your Stuff on eBay, and the two of them hit it off immediately. They have a great conversation, and she gives him her phone number, indicating that she's interested in seeing him again. Andy is excited about this new development, as Trish seems like a kind and interesting person who may be the one to help him lose his virginity. After Andy gets Trish's phone number, he tells his friends about her. They are excited for him, but they insist that if he truly cares about her, he shouldn't have sex with her until after he loses his virginity. They argue that if his first time is with her, it will be an awful experience and she'll think he's a freak. They believe that it's important for him to have a successful first experience with someone else before being intimate with Trish. Andy is hesitant to take this advice, as he has grown close to Trish, but he ultimately agrees to follow his friend's plan, as he doesn't want to risk ruining his potential relationship with her. Again, his friends try to set him up with different women, but none of the encounters are successful. Finally, after a date with Trish, it looks like Andy's virginity might finally come to an end. They're making out on Trish's bed when she goes into the bathroom to get ready. She tells him that there are condoms in the drawer, but he should check the expiration date because they're pretty old. As Andy starts reading instructions and trying to figure out how to use one, he goes through a dozen or so without success. Just as he thinks he's finally got it, Trish's daughter and boyfriend walk in. Her daughter is angry and they get into a huge argument. The boyfriend looks down at the dozen used condoms on the bed and whispers to Andy, "Teach me." Andy and Trish decide to take things slow and focus on getting to know each other better. They agree to put off having sex for a while, and instead decide to wait until their 20th date to take that step. This gives them time to build a solid foundation for their relationship and make sure they're truly compatible before becoming intimate. As Andy and Trish continue to go on dates, they grow closer and closer. Trish's daughter, who initially had reservations about him, begins to warm up to Andy and they develop a strong bond. Trish also becomes a valuable asset to Andy's career aspirations, helping him sell some of his beloved collection of action figures and video games at her eBay store, which helps him raise funds for his dream of opening his own electronics store. The two of them seem to have a deep understanding and connection, and everything seems to be going great. One day, as Trish walks into Andy's apartment, she stumbles upon a collection of pornographic materials that one of Andy's friends had given him. She is shocked and hurt, feeling as if she doesn't truly know who Andy is. She rushes out without a word, leaving Andy to chase after her in despair. In his haste, he crashes his bike into a billboard truck, tumbling right in front of her. Lying there, he musters up the courage to reveal his virginity to her. They share a passionate embrace, realizing that this secret aspect of his life doesn't change their feelings for each other. Their wedding day arrives, and on their wedding night, they make love for the first time. She tells him, "Congratulations, you are officially not a virgin." The encounter lasts for a brief moment, but they both want more, and 2 hours later, they are seen lying in bed with big grins on their faces. Trish asks him how it was, and the movie breaks into a strange video of him singing Aquarius with many of the cast of characters from the film in the background. The credits start rolling during this song, bringing an end to the story of Andy and Trish's journey towards love and intimacy. 40-Year-Old Virgin is a must-watch for anyone looking for a good laugh. The film is filled with comedic moments that will have you in stitches, and a heartfelt story that will make you root for Andy as he embarks on his journey to lose his virginity. The cast is great and the pacing is perfect. It's a classic comedy that will be enjoyed by audiences of all ages. If you haven't seen it yet, be sure to check it out. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time on Short Times.